Welcome back. These days, everyone is looking to save a little green, and one way to do that is lowering your energy usage. Joining me now with tips on how to do just that is Berkeley Electric Co Op's Eddie McKnight. Good to see you, Eddie.
Good morning.
Now, I didn't really know what to expect. We've been doing this for 10 weeks now. We started back in March with these energy-saving tips, and we really did a lot of easy things that can save you big time.
Right. We were focusing on what the average person around the home can do on their own and found a lot of things and explored a lot.
Well, the thing is, you and I are two pretty average guys, and all these things we were capable of doing.
Yes, there are a lot of things, and the tips, there were 10 tips that we ran. The last one is this week, and they're online now. You can go to either our website or your website and click, and they're all on YouTube, and you can go and see every one of them.
We're going to live in infamy on YouTube.
Oh, okay, I guess. That could be good or bad.
Now, probably one of the best ways to find out where you're wasting energy is with this little guy right here.
Yeah, we, I think in the refrigerator segment, we had these and showed how much an old and a new refrigerator might be using and learned some really good things. If refrigerator's over 10 or 15 years old, you could be spending a lot of money. Could be worth your while, and especially with the rebates and incentives now to go and get a new refrigerator.
Yeah. Now, my whole question the whole time is, why would the energy company want to tell people how to save money? Don't you want them to spend money?
The way we look at it is wise use of energy, because, you know, the peak is what sets how much generation you have to build and all that. So if you're saving energy and you're saving it off of peak time, it helps everybody. It helps us and it helps customers.
Plus, you're a cooperative, and what does that do for you guys as opposed to some of the other energy companies?
Well, we're nonprofit, so anything that the customer doesn't have to spend is, you know, there's no charge, and it saves everybody money.
Now, what do you think the easiest tip that we did was? I mean, I've got my opinion.
Well, you know, we concentrated a lot talking about heating and air, because in an average home, heating and air is 40%, and we found so many things where ductwork was leaking, where the house was leaking, and some of the video that we had.
This one here is simple.
The gaskets around receptacles, and then with the remember the tip where we pressurized the house and you had smoke blowing, and you actually see air coming out of the receptacles around doors and windows, and in ductwork in your attic or under the house where you never see it. And there was a lot of
see, but some of that stuff's a little bit tougher. You might have to have a professional to come out and check. Like this right here, the filling around the pipes. I mean, that was simple.
Right. I can remember being at some homes and we were looking up under the sink. Everybody can do that. Look under the sink, and where you see plumbing coming in and going out or wiring, if there's a hole there, then there's access to under the house or access to the attic, and air can come in or out.
Well, and a lot of times people don't realize, like even the little crack under your front door, if you see one there, I mean, that's like having a big hole in the middle of your wall.
Yeah, the way we describe that sometimes is talking about you know, if you had a hole the size of a brick in your wall, you wouldn't leave it open.
No,
but if you got a quarter of an inch around your door that's leaking, that's equal to a hole the size of a brick.
Right.
So, you know, you should do something about that.
You got to fill that up for sure. Now, Eddie, all these tips are online, and you can go on and see your own energy-saving tips with Touchstone Energy.
There are people who don't go online, and we have information. This is something that goes along with the website that we've been promoting, 101 easy ways to save energy. Which way to point this, but we have them at our district offices. But TogetherWeSave.com is the national website that co-ops use through Touchstone Energy, and there are simple tips there, and there are more complicated calculations you can do if you want to get into learning exactly how much you can save.
Well, and even those gaskets that we showed there that you put in around the receptacles, where you plug in your appliances, you have those available, don't you?
We sometimes hand those out at home shows and things, and sometimes we have them in our lobbies according if we're out of them, but they're available at home centers. Almost everything we talked about, even the little tube of caulking that you can, you know, just tear off the top, is disposable and seal up around windows and receptacles and wire entrances and things like that. It's so easy now.
And with those temperatures heating up right now, folks really want to jump on this now. Now's
a good time to be tending to that, because the weather's getting hot, and the hotter it is, you know, and you got infiltration happening, the more money it costs you. And we always have to remember to talk about getting your heating system tuned up.
Yep.
That's important.
So do that probably like 2 to 4 times a year just to make sure it's running efficiently.
At least once. Check, clean the filters, and be sure everything's in order.
Eddie, I learned a lot and I had fun. It's always good to see you.
Yes, thank you. It was fun.
All right, we'll see what he's got planned for me next. I'm sure it's going to be fun. All right, well, coming up after the break, look at the clouds We'll be back with Rock and Roll Heaven, the ultimate fantasy rock and roll concert.